The man was crawling on the outside of the 35th floor window because he had been trapped in this unfinished building for nearly 20 days. Not long ago, Kevin had started searching for an apartment to marry his girlfriend. However, a standard one-bedroom apartment with a kitchen cost at least $20,000 a month, which Kevin couldn't afford. Just when he was out of options, a man called out to him, saying he had a brand new apartment available for rent. But when Kevin arrived, he found that it was a completely vacant building. The man explained that the building had been completed for 2 years, but there were some issues with the lease, so the occupancy certificate hadn't been issued yet. The man reassured him that living here for a year would be no problem. Looking at the brand new renovations and fully furnished apartment, Kevin quickly signed the lease, moved in that very night, and set up the apartment to get ready to bring his girlfriend over the next morning. However, the next morning, he woke up to find that his phone hadn't charged at all at first. He thought it was just a poor connection, so he plugged it back in and went to wash up. But when he turned on all the faucets, no water came out. In a hurry to meet his girlfriend, Kevin didn't think much of it and used bottled water to wash his face quickly. Then, after changing his clothes, he got ready to leave. But when waiting for the elevator, he realized he had forgotten his phone. He immediately turned back to grab it. His girlfriend called to remind him, saying if he didn't hurry, her family would force her into an arranged marriage. But while he was on the phone, the door slammed shut because of the strong wind on the balcony, and the key was still on the outside. Trapped inside, Kevin couldn't open the door without the key. He tried using pliers and kicking the door, but nothing worked. Kevin quickly called a locksmith, but before he could finish the address, his phone died. In a panic, he ran to the bedroom to charge it. But just then, the air conditioner automatically turned off, and the power indicator light went out. The whole building lost power. Kevin, frustrated and desperate, grabbed a wrench and started hitting the door, but the lock didn't budge. Instead, he injured his finger. He went out to the balcony and yelled for help. But with the height of the 35th floor, no one could hear him. He lay by the door crack, shouting, but the empty hallway only echoed back. The whole building was empty, with only him living there, with no other choice. Kevin went back to tend to his wound. That night, he ate some crackers from the day before, and then grabbed a flashlight to continue signaling for help. But in the massive cityscape, his light barely made a difference. The next morning, the room still had no water or power, and Kevin's frustration grew. He looked at the toilet, which had turned green, and decided to drink from it despite the unsanitary conditions. He used a ladle to collect urine, forced himself to drink it, and immediately threw up for half an hour. Just as he was on the brink of dehydration,